Once upon a time, there was a kingdom named Bourbania. It was ruled by King Fernando and Queen Valeriana, who had three sons: Don Pedro, the firstborn, Don Diego, the second, and Don Juan, the youngest. One night, King Fernando had a bad dream. He saw that his youngest, Prince Don Juan, was thrown away in a deep, creepy well. The king started to get weak for unknown reasons. It seemed that nothing could bring back his prior high level of health. His medical advisors told him that the only cure for his unexplained malady was a lullaby sung by the Adarna bird. So, King Fernando tasked his three sons to hunt a magical bird. Don Pedro went first, but was unsuccessful. He may have reached Mount Tabor, and the tree of Piedras Platas, where the other bird nested, but the prince fell asleep after hearing the bird's song. What's worse is that he turned into a stone when the lovely bird pooped on him. The second prince, Don Diego, went hunting next. Unfortunately, he had the same bitter end as his older brother. The kingdom was counting on Don Juan, who went next. The youngest prince climbed through Mount Tabor. He met a very sick old man who gave him tips about the magical tree of Piedras Platas and catching the Adarna bird. Don Juan successfully caught the bird and helped his two brothers become human again. Because of envy and greed for power, the older brothers joined forces to beat Don Juan to death and throw him into a deep well. The two then returned home with a donor bird. However, the king's illness grew worse because the bird never sang a single song. Luckily, Don Juan's strength returned. He was healed by the poor old man who helped him on the mountain. He finally returned to the kingdom of Bourbania. King Fernando knew the truth when the bird started singing after seeing Don Juan. The king grew healthy again and became stronger than ever. He wanted to punish his two sons, but Don Juan asked his father to forgive them. The king granted his request and asked the three princes to guard the Adarna bird. Because of Don Pedro, the bird flew away and escaped. Don Juan went away from the kingdom so the king wouldn't punish his brother. The literary genre of Ibong Adarna: folktale and fantasy. The Ibong Adarna is a fantasy and folktale story because it centers on the lives of King Fernando, Queen Valeriana, and their three sons. The three princes set out to find the mythical Ibong Adarna that has the power to heal, but it also has the power to turn anyone into a rock. Ibong Adarna played an important role in shaping the mindsets of Filipino society during the pre-Spanish colonial period. The illustrations convey meanings that influenced the mindsets of hundreds of Filipinos, and in particular, the students who take up the corridor in their classes. The mythical tale of Patarna Bird is a corrido, a form of narrative song and poetry, and is regarded as a significant piece of Philippine literature. It is typically studied as part of secondary curriculum in the nation. This remarkable story's author is still unknown and unsure, because it was composed under the Spanish control of the Philippines during the 16th century. Some claim that the author was Spanish. Ibong Adarna, which literally translates to Adarna bird, was known at that time as Corrido at Buhay na pinagdadaanan ng tatlong prinsipe na magkakapatid na anak ng Hari Fernando at Rina Valeriana sa kahariang Bourbania. Other critics claim that it was written by Jose de la Cruz, a famous poet in this area also known as Husang Sisiw. Ibong Adarna literally means Adarna bird. The story centers about catching the mythical bird that possesses magical powers. The Adarna bird is so beautiful and could change in a lot of stunning forms. It is also very much hard to catch. It knows a total of 7 songs which could either enchant anyone to sleep, turn into stone, or heal a deadly sickness, which is why The almost dying King Fernando of Bourbania tasked his three sons to catch the magical bird. Ibong Adarna uses metaphor as one or more literary devices. We can see that the story is based on the Spanish colonial period, where we all must suffer or be a sacrifice first before getting what we want. Or perhaps we don't even have a choice, we just have to suffer or become a sacrifice. Because that's how life in the Philippines worked during the pre-Spanish colonial period. That the people in the pre-Spanish colonial period are blinded by money and power. The question is it worth it or not? Thank you for listening.